I think we were defensively good. I thought we were solid at times. I thought we gave a few opportunities to them in the first half that we'll look back on. But obviously with what our recent run's been, I think getting a clean sheet was a big positive. I just said to the group at the end there, I think we just have to make sure when we have performances like that defensively, we show the quality in the final third to get a finish. But you've heard me say that before.
Thanks again for the time. I wanted to ask about Claudia and just one save. I mean, so that obviously you guys, like you're talking defensively, showed well, but what about her and being able to have her back in goal?
Yeah, I think it was a really last minute thing to whether she was going to be ready or not. And having her back was great. But like I say, I think she didn't really have to do a lot on the saves, but she came for crosses well. She was dominant on that, which I think is good. But overall, having her back, having her and Laurel competing again will be a positive.
Why last minute?
Just whether she was going to be fit. Just coming back from the injury, and it's been a long road, and she had a lot of things she had to tick off the list. At the start of the week, she didn't have them all ticked off, so she finally got them ticked off Friday afternoon, so we could make the decision to go with her.
Hey Laura, Phoebe got player of the match honor. I wanted to hear from you what you liked from her in this game today. She had some big stops, I thought, in the first half, and how much she's really grown as a player for you since she's become part of the reign.
Yeah, I think with Phoebe, she is physical, she's dominant in that way, she's a bit nuts in that way, which makes her great. I think the fact that she can play fullback, she can play centre back in any four positions has been a real blessing for the team. But I know for her, she wants to sort of continue to solidify those positions, but you saw today she's willing to do whatever it takes for the team, and we felt that we had to change a lot of things in this game. We made, I think, 5 changes to the starting lineup from last week, so I thought she did some really defensively solid, really good things. And yeah, I think there's still area of growth there, which I think is the most exciting thing for Phoebes.
Hey Coach, I think it was around the 60th minute mark, Jess Fishlock started to go over the top, right in the middle of the park to height him up. Mm-hmm. What was happening in the middle of the Thorns defense that had you guys liking that look? Yeah,
I mean, we'd prepared before to try and drag their centre-backs out with Bolsa and have Lats go and height him and be effective on the line. And I thought in the first half we didn't do it enough. We didn't get Veronica or Jordan in those positions enough. But that's Jess's game, she sees passes that not a lot of other people see. And it was on, and it was threatening, and I'm still wondering why the referee didn't give us a free kick on one of them, but it's for another time, I think.
Speaking of Jordan, it was her second consecutive start returning from injury. Just wanted to collect your thoughts on her performance and her impact to the team and what it means to have her back.
Yeah, I think there's so many layers to that question, honestly. I think having her and Bolsa in the team is a dynamic that's tough for anybody. Not many teams have the physical presence of one of them, let alone 2 of them. So I think having them both together at times is really effective. Today, I thought was effective. And then they can also take the burden off each other at times throughout the season. So I think it allowed Bolsa to come lower, which I think she enjoys. I think she's good at that. And it allows Jordan to be a threat in behind. And again, I thought when we got her in those positions, she was also that. So, 2 things with Jordan. She's going to work really hard defensively, and she can be a threat when you get her in behind. And I think you've seen that in the last 2 games. Obviously, didn't get her goal today, but obviously had probably our best 2 chances from doing that. One, again, I'm still wondering why I don't have a free kick. And the second one, she lost her footing right as she went to strike it. So.
And Despite the previous results, it's a home draw today. Do you see this result as a step in the right direction, as a good foundation to build off from?
For sure. I said to the team after, I think has to be our platform now, our standard defensively, clean sheets, reducing the opposition to not a lot, but we have to keep pushing ourselves with our quality. We have to. If we're going to turn these results into wins, which I hope happens sooner rather than later, we have to have that defensive mindset whilst also having the quality heart of the field. And honestly, we played some really good stuff at times. It was just that last pass or the last connection or the cross or whatever it might be. There was just one or two things off at the end of it that I think if we can get those right, we come away with a victory today.
Two follow-up questions regarding the lineup changes for today. Quinn plays the first half, comes off and does the second half. Was that, or halftime, was that due to minutes restrictions?
Yes.
Okay. And then Ryan gets their first start today. Just your overall thoughts on her performance?
Thought she did great. Did great last week when she came on as well. So we wanted to reward that performance. And again, I thought we had to make changes to the back line. We had to. We did. And I thought that obviously getting a clean sheet is testament to their effort today.
Coach, do you feel that the confidence is growing too with the team? That was something you had mentioned.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. I think Kaylee, who has been our goalkeeper replacement since Claudia's been injured, she actually spoke to the team on Friday when we knew that Claudia was going to be cleared. And she said something that really stuck with me was, she's never been around a group that's as resilient as this. And I think with the results is one part of that. Losses are tough. But the goals we've conceded, you could turn up and not want to play soccer ever again, with some of the things that have happened to us. And we just have not had that mentality. The day after a game or the first time we see each other after a game, the group is very vulnerable and upset and disappointed, and we watch film and we try and drag ourselves through it. But by the time the next game comes around, you just see this air of confidence come through them. And I've said this before, I truly think that's because we're very process driven, and we believe in what we're trying to do. And even in every single game, as tough as some of those scorelines have been, I can put multiple times where I think we could have come out of it with a result. Even in Kansas, 90 seconds of craziness, and that game is really, really different. So I think we're resilient. I think that builds confidence. I think we don't lack character either, and we're going to need that if we're going to keep pushing to get where we want to be.
Let's take one more here from Nico.
Guys, last question here. Do you have a step count for today?
Ooh, nice. Jacob, he stole your thing. Oof, looks pretty big. 9,000. That's just in the game. 9,000 in the game.
All right, we're going to take actually one more
14
online.
for the day.
Online. Peyton, on Zoom, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi Laura, thanks for your time. Can you hear me okay?
Hey Peyton, I can hear you.
Kind of touching on a few elements of what you've spoken about today, the team seems to be really resilient, but resilient cohesively, and I was wondering if you could speak to that and how you've, if that's something that you've intentionally worked with them, or that's something that has to do with just the culture, and them seeming to work together. I mean, the passing sequences you had at the end there were pretty wonderful. Would have been cool to see a goal come out of them, but you can really see the growth throughout the season and kind of how much stronger everyone's been. So I was just wondering if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think we talk about it a lot. We as a team have always been a group that, for us to be successful, we have to do it together. We just have never really had these one individuals that can turn games around for us in moments. I mean, Pino was probably the closest to that. So we've always had the mindset that if we're going to achieve anything, we can only ever achieve it together. It's something we've spoken about for weeks now. we maybe have come off that track at times in games, and that's where we've been punished. And I felt today that we did not fall off that track. We stuck together, both defensively, and then later on in the game, when we were really pushing, you saw it in the offensive side, because some of the patterns of play were amazing, and I just think, again, in those moments, can we find that just little bit of quality to put that ball in the back of the net, and we'll be okay.
All right, thank you everyone. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, guys.